And we're back with our first 2-part episode. This is part 2. So if you are just joining us right now, go back to episode 69, listen to part 1 of our Gasparilla Music Festival coverage. If you already listened to that, hey, you're caught up. Here's part 2, featuring conversations with Eric Tesmer, Mountain Hauler, Kolars, Shank and Friends, Brother Cephas, the Underhill Family Orchestra, and Bear Toe. It's a big one. There's lots going on in this episode. It's a lot of fun. We'll throw in some surprises and stuff too, so sit back and enjoy. Here it is, episode number 70. Florida. We're at Curtis Hickson Park for Gasparilla Music Fest in the Replay Guitar Exchange tent, and we're hanging out with Eric Tesmer, who comes our way from Austin, Texas.
Yes,
right?
sir.
Which is funny because I'm going to be in Austin in less than 24 hours.
Me too.
Yeah, literally after this,
Do you need a ride?
Actually, I could cancel my flight. I'll just ride with you guys.
Throwing for gas. We're good.
Let's do it. But yeah, we're doing South by Southwest, so got to go and. We have 2 showcases that we're doing there this year. So, second year at South by, second time coming to Austin. So.
What do you think of it?
I mean,
I always wondered what an outsider's opinion of it is.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely like a giant brand orgy,
Oh,
there's,
music fashion show.
Right. There's like the Eminem stage and stuff like that. But I don't know. I think there's still like an undercurrent of coolness going on there because there's just so many cool things going on in Austin that there's like an underground scene of like unofficial shows and cool stuff that happens.
Yeah, it's interesting living there. It's like, well, our traffic goes to shit for a little bit,
Yeah.
But I always wonder what an outsider opinion coming in, not knowing the town really, if it's worth it to go.
Yeah, I mean the barbecue's great.
Hey, I mean, if that's your standard, then it's all, you don't even have to wait for South by. It's way easier to get around.
Like our show, our official showcase is at Lambert's Barbecue in downtown. So I hear that their barbecue's
they're really good.
Is excellent.
I like playing there.
So yeah, tell us a little bit about what's the Austin blues scene, right? Because you're a blues, can I call you a blues traditionalist? Is that fair?
No,
not fair.
I mean, when I think of blues traditionalists, I think playing everything exactly like it sounded in 1964 or something, But no, we use a lot of vintage instruments, but it's more like that late 60s, early 70s, Texas blues, Stevie Ray tradition.
Yeah.
But also pushing it into more, pushing Beatles songwriting, I hate to compare myself to that because I'm nowhere near it. I'm just saying that that's a goal.
Yeah. That's what you strive.
Blending the two. Yeah.
Implement the Texas shuffle and everything you can.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah,
just
all day.
Put a shuffle on it.
Yeah.
But you're not originally from Austin, though, right?
No, actually, I grew up in the middle of nowhere in Wisconsin.
Really?
Yeah. So I graduated high school and I packed up all my guitars and left.
And you went to the live music capital of the world?
I did.
Was that for that reason?
For that very reason.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what was it like growing up in a small town and then going to Austin?
It was really different. I mean, where I grew up, it's a very there's a large Czech population, large German, large Norwegian, very Scandinavian. So when I moved to Texas and I saw a car of Mexican dudes drive by and they're just in a lowrider, but they were listening to Tejano, which is polka. Where I'm from, it's that is really old people music, and it's the squarest thing you could possibly do. It's the only thing worse is if they were square dancing or something,
Right.
So I mean, that was a bit of a shock. But man, when I got to Austin, I walked into a bar and it was Alan Haynes was playing, and he's just a living legend. And I was I found the center of the universe. This place is where I need to be. So.
Yeah. There's no cooler place than Austin, I think. especially for live music.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy because, you know, a lot of the residents have complained lately because it's just growing so big so fast, and it's getting more expensive, obviously. But
Yeah, because everybody wants to move there.
yeah, well, it's like, but like if you go on the road, like if you want to complain about it, like you go on the road and like a week later you're like, you can't get good tacos anywhere, like barbecue sucks. So
Yeah.
it's like you miss it immediately. So.
Oh, I bet. And then just all the live music venues. You know, you're in legendary places like Antone's. And
Yeah,
stuff there.
it's crazy now. I mean, I'm in my 30s now, and like I feel like almost like an old dog because I don't really recognize some of the new venue names. Even I'm like, it's hard enough to keep up with the bands. Like now I can't even keep up with all the new venues. So.
Yeah. Stuff open in Legend. But there's, you know, I love some of the names of venues in Austin, like your Valhalla and Mohawk and stuff.
Yeah.
It's like there's some cool venues.
Yeah, there's some Cheer Up Charlies. Like
Yeah,
trying to think of some good names, but yeah, I mean like you have your classics like the Continental Club and Antone's and Saxon Pub. And you're never gonna see a bad show there. Well, I don't know if the show is gonna be bad, but the sound won't be.
The sound will be good, yeah. No, that's some of my favorite songwriters and players are coming out of there. Like, you know, Jason's even wearing the Bob Snyder shirt right now.
Oh, yeah.
So the Scabs were like my introduction to the Austin scene. You know?
Bob's a character.
Yeah. Did you ever see him just hanging around in Austin?
I see him every once in a while.
He seems like a kind of an approachable guy.
Yeah, he is a character. He's Bob Schneider. So.
Yeah. The first time I met him, he played here in Tampa at Skipper's Smokehouse. This was years ago. I was probably like 15.
Right.
And I told him that he was my hero. And he's just like, you need to get a new hero, man.
Oh, man. No, it's like he's one of those guys. He's in the spotlight a lot.
Yeah.
And so like everyone, I don't know. I've heard some amazingly awesome stories about him as a person. I know him just in passing. I've met him probably like 4 or 5 times.
Yeah.
No, man.
But I've heard you're closer with like Gary Clark Jr. too. He's
Oh, yeah.
a buddy of yours.
Yeah.
So seeing him kind of blowing up right now is like, how does that make you feel about the potential for the scene there?
Well, I mean, first it makes me proud as hell because I mean Gary deserves it. He's amazingly talented.
Yeah.
He's the sweetest dude you ever meet. So as far as for me, I mean, there's nothing about that's bad for me. So
Yeah. Because it puts a spotlight on everything that you guys are doing.
Every time it brings that spotlight back to Austin, they start looking around for more. So
Yeah. So I know you haven't released a record in a while. So what can you tell us anything about what you're working on now, or what we're teasing? Or?
I can tell you that I'm recording in May in LA. I've got a producer lined up and everything, but I just can't say who it is. But he's done some big stuff that you've heard a lot.
All right.
I hate to be that guy, but I was just told on my way here that I couldn't say anything. But,
okay. Well, see, that's good. And you got your tour manager here, so we don't want to anger anybody.
Actually, I got both my managers here right now. So
see, so you really you got to be on your best behavior.
Like the poison dart would be in my neck before I even got like the second syllable.
Right on.
So for people going to your show today, what should they be expecting from it? If they don't normally listen to blues, what kind of energy do you think that you put out on the stage?
It's like high energy Texas psychedelic blues. Going to be a lot of really huge sounding guitar, powered trio.
Hell yeah, that's right.
I'm going to throw down.
Good.
Oh man, I can't wait. So what have you gotten to check out the Tampa area at all? Did you just come in just today?
We've been here a couple days. We're staying in St. Pete. So
it's a good spot.
Yeah, we played Friday at Ruby's.
Yeah, Ruby's Elixir. That's the
fucking bomb.
Yeah, man.
Man. It was a trip, man. Had the whole room packed. So then yesterday we played the hockey game.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So and then after that we came to the festival. I saw the Roots, man. They killed it.
Yeah, killer set, right?
Just pocket for days.
Yeah. No, the Roots are like one of the best bands.
Oh yeah.
Period. They can play anything.
There's no denying it. It's like damn, these guys are good.
Yeah.
But and then so then we had to leave after today. But I've got around a little bit, but mostly just like walking to get stuff. We actually converted the house we're staying in to like a makeshift recording studio, and we're making demos and stuff in there during the day. So it cut into my exploring time.
Yeah. Well, sometimes you gotta write.
Yeah, I mean. Of course, I'm missing out. Like, I want to go to a guitar store or something, find something. But
Replay Guitar Exchange, man, that's the spot.
Man,
not terribly far.
They're not.
I'm just sitting here like I don't even see the sign.
No, Replay Guitar Exchange is sponsoring this stage in our tent here.
Killer, man.
They're definitely the best spot in the area to get some great gear, vintage gear, as well as,
Yeah, I mean, if you come to the show this afternoon, you get to see a pre-CBS Strat. There you go.
Come on. Don't hurt me like that.
That's what you're carrying around with you? Make sure nobody touches it?
Yeah, it's a 59, so.
Man, that's a beautiful guitar.
Yeah.
So, for people that are new to kind of Texas blues, besides kind of your Gary Clark Jr. and Eric Tesmer, like who are some of the key players right now that we should be on the lookout for?
New players,
old players. Who's what's the scene like?
All right, so Alan Haynes is the guy. I mean, a lot of the older dudes are like overlooked now. Like Alan Haynes is somebody who he came up with Stevie. I mean, that guy is unreal. Plays like a mixture of like Lightning Hopkins and Johnny Winter.
Yeah.
I mean, you go see him, it's just like a musical conduit's opened. As far as young guys, I know there's a kid, he's in Austin now. He's out of Houston. His name's Zach Person, and he's tearing it up on 6th Street right now.
Damn.
As far as underrated cats, there's a guy just a little bit younger than me. His name's Dave Scher. He's just like, he went through Berkeley and stuff, so he knows all the theory and everything, but like, I mean, he's got the feel too, so I mean, he's kills it. So.
Yeah, that's key with blues, man, because it's you can learn all the theory in the world, but if you don't feel it, then what the fuck are you doing?
Well, Dave is definitely, he's everything. I mean, he can play blues, jazz, funk, soul, whatever. So
that's incredible, and that's one of the things I appreciate. I think about a lot of music coming out of Austin is that it mixes those styles. It's not just strictly blues, but
especially with like one thing that I didn't anticipate when I moved to Texas was like how much the Louisiana thing was like mixed in, like not so much in like Dallas, but like Houston, especially in Austin too. Like they have a lot of that Cajun and the second line stuff. I mean, and that stuff is
incredible.
Man, New Orleans funk, man, that's where it's at.
Yeah, we caught Naughty Professor yesterday. They killed it, And that's where it's at.
Yeah.
So, any thoughts for our listeners, the Tampa Bay scene, Gasparilla Music Festival?
Any thoughts?
Any final thoughts? The floor is yours.
Oh, I don't know. I got nothing. I don't know anything. I'm just happy to be here.
All right. Well, it's a beautiful Sunday. We are hanging out at Gasparilla Music Fest, talking with Mark Etherington.
Hello.
More popularly known as Mountain Holla.
Yes.
Mountain Holla, the man with the big voice is what everybody tells me.
That's a good thing to be known for.
Probably. First off, I owe you an apology. That's the first thing.
For what?
Because you emailed me like a couple weeks ago, and I said that we got to meet up and hang out and talk, and I didn't get back to you.
Oh.
So I'm sorry for that.
No, it's totally okay.
No, it's not okay.
It's not okay, actually.
No.
I was really upset about it.
Yeah, you should
Until just now.
Okay, good. But no, well, we got South by coming up and this and everything. I just,
It's crazy right now.
It is a crazy time.
Yeah, I was down in Okeechobee for 5 days last weekend, stage managing and playing. It was amazing. Like, a lot of people keep asking me, how was it? And the only word I can muster to describe it is epic. Yeah, that's it. Like, it was indescribable, the shit that I saw happen, and like the magic of serendipity and like synchronicity, and it was beautiful. It was really, really cool.
And we had a nice, Tampa, St. Pete area presence at Okeechobee. Freedback was holding it down. And,
Yeah, we had our stage. The stage that I managed was the Lost and Tea Lounge, and it was all like St. Pete act. It was like me, Pleasures, Jerry X, just JT Brown, Freeback was on there, Matt Walker, Alex Borst. I mean, it was like it was everybody. Like, it was our big St. Pete family.
That's awesome.
Took over a whole section of Okeechobee.
That should happen every year.
It should.
Yeah.
Every Florida festival should be taken over by Tampa.
I totally agree. But it's also great that we have our own festival right here in our backyard.
Yeah.
Gasparilla Music. So, moving to today, what can we expect from your set?
I don't know. I've been really focusing on, so I don't write set lists because I like to kind of pertain to the crowd, but I've been given the opportunity to be playing a lot of festivals recently, and so I've been kind of playing the same set. and it's a lot of intentional, like intention based, because a lot of my different songs, you know, like are sparked from different things here and there or whatever. So I've been trying to kind of like convey a message of intention and a little bit of self-awareness, because I feel like 2018 can continue going really well, but there's already been so much chaos that's already happened within this year, within like pop culture and our society. So I'm really trying to, for a moment, for 30 minutes, for 35 minutes, try to convey like positive intention, and also try to like harness that and push that through to whomever ears are picking up on it, because I think it's really important. I think it's really easy to walk through our day to day and just get like shat on with like a bunch of jargon from so many different entities that have negative intention, or a malicious intention, or a greedy intention. And just for a moment, if we can like take a deep breath and have like compassionate intention, or like, you know, whatever that may be, fun intention, or like, you know, just reckless intention too, that's good too. Yeah, so I think that's what I'm going to try to bring there. And especially being here all weekend, like I get to wrap up that stage. I'm stage managing that stage, so it's important.
And this is the Furman Amphitheater, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So you'll be the last one to...
Yeah, and then Father John missed you.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, so that's sick.
That's really cool, man. That's a really like good way to approach music, and you know, like that's a great message for people to have. You know?
I wish, and it doesn't have to be with music, you know, it can be with any sort of medium, or just like being a human being walking around. You know, like one thing I learned with Okeechobee, with like being in charge of so much and working for such a phenomenal production company based out of Oakland called Culture House, like just using your words, like being an adult and communicating clearly and directly and telling people what you need from them, and just like it makes the world, you know, so a much better place when people use their words in a positive way and like in a clear way, you know. Because it can get muddled, as you guys, you know, literally run a thing where it's all words.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sure you can feel that with people's reactions to the show and like between each other, you know. Yeah.
Well, and it's interesting to see the way people, you know, use their words and the way people interact with each other.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, and like people don't, you know, like people don't really know how.
Well, especially now, because everybody spends all day texting, and like, you know, and even then people are bad at communicating via text. But it's like,
I know,
you know,
it just becomes like acronyms, and yeah, it's really interesting. Like, I don't know if it's because I'm getting older, or it's because like I have been working on this set of like intention and communication, and like, but I've been really noticing that like, you know, people do have a hard time communicating what they need and what they want, and it's like it's not like anything other than they just they don't know how anymore. Like when we're kids, we're told to like use our words and like share and do all these very simple things, but the older we get, it's like we don't practice that in our day-to-day. We practice isolation and distraction and like texting, man. Like, I like, nothing against this person, but I watched a person walk like 2 blocks and cross the street and into Curtis Hickson, and she was on her phone the entire time.
Yeah, and never once looked up at our beautiful downtown.
Yeah, or just like she had a coffee, like fucking drink your coffee, just like look around, you know. It's a gorgeous day.
Yeah.
Like and that's another thing I've been doing with myself is like every time I mindlessly pick up my phone to like, I'm bored, like you get that like idea, I ask myself, is it worth it? Like, is it important? Is what I'm doing right now more important than like experiencing this? You know, because this is fleeting, but for whatever reason we think this is like permanent and here forever.
Yeah.
You know?
Dude, you're like blowing my mind right now. Like really, for real. Now it makes sense. I was going to bring up, because I was, you know, checking out some of your live videos, and you did a WMNF live showcase, and there's a comment from somebody that I thought was hilarious. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about. He said, "Finally, the punk rockers are taking acid." That was his review of you.
Yeah, that's I need to like put that on a koozie.
Yeah, no, that should be like your, you know, like when they have a trailer for a film and it's like, you know, finally the punk rockers are taking acid.
Dude, it's so funny because like it's true. Like it really is true. I don't know if my parents are gonna hear this. But
Well, yeah.
Okay, yeah. I totally condone psychedelics. Like in the usage of it, but it's true. Like I think as a metaphor, right? The punks are taking acid. Like the punks are becoming, some sort of like awareness, and like I think it comes from that punk idealism of like not giving a shit, sticking up against the anti-establishment. But now it's like, if you stuck with it, a lot of my friends are in the same place where it's like now it's like we view the world almost in like a Zen Buddhist sense. You know what I mean? Like we've gone through the angsty shit of like dealing with, and a lot of it's internal, right? So like I was angsty because I was dealing with a lot of self-hate and like I was very self-deprecating, as we can all become, body image issues and stuff like that. But then like I think eventually if you keep going internal enough, like if you dive down enough, eventually what you kind of realize is that it goes right back out, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's like is there an end of the universe? Like if you believe in the continuous universe theory, like eventually you just get right back to where you started, right? So like these people who went through life not compromising their own person, their own nature, and yeah, punk rocks or punk rockers or like the alternative crowd, it's now, I think the culture has taken a very, it's kind of Zen Buddhist, it's I think there's a lot of similarities to that type of idealism,
Yeah, this reminds me of conversations that we've had with Billy Mays. I'm sure you're friends with him.
Yeah.
He's very similar in talking about, the infinite universe and kind of how everything wraps around together,
Yeah, it's all connected.
Yeah.
Even if you don't see it all the time, or but it's all connected.
Yeah, man.
Just like the same wind pushes the flag, pushes these trees, pushes my hair. Like it's. I think honestly nowadays, and I don't want to like step on anybody's toes, but to really say otherwise is quite silly.
Yeah,
you're
missing something. I think
so.
Otherwise.
I think you're missing something in yourself.
Yeah. So Mountain Holler, what do you got coming? You got some new music coming for us soon, or what do you got? What do you got going on?
So I'm playing quite a bit, and I just kind of decided when I was at Okeechobee. I've been really proactive with playing shows since I started. I didn't really care about creating content. I wanted my music to be experienced in the live setting. And then I started getting flack because people were like, dude, I want to listen to you like outside of this. So anyway, I recorded a 5-song EP called the Entheogen EP, which I have here today, and that's the latest thing I released. And it's not, 2 of the songs in the EP are new. The other ones are old songs I've been playing. But what I decided to do is I have about 17 songs that I've carried in my arsenal that are kind of like in my music quiver. And what I've decided to do is record all of my songs, 5 songs at a time, and release different EPs. Some might contain new songs. I kind of foresee most of them being songs I've played for a while. But my goal, and I have no timeline on it, it's just whenever it feels natural, but I'm just going to slowly start releasing all of my songs in little 5-song EPs.
I love the phrase, your musical quiver.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see some bow and arrow shots with some Mark Etherington Mountain Holler music.
Yeah, I'm excited to pull them and let them go.
That's too cool, man. So what time are you playing again tonight?
5:30.
5:30.
Yeah, 5:30 to 6.
The Furman, closing out the Furman stage.
Right
on, man.
Yeah, man.
Well, that's really cool. We'll have to bring you back for a full sit down.
Sure.
Where we can really talk to you, and because I think we can get into a lot of cool stuff with you.
Yeah.
So, but again, I owe you a call back. So when I get back from Austin, we'll hang out for
when
sure.
When do you leave for South by?
Like right after this.
Oh, wow.
Like we're packing up in a couple hours, and I'm heading to the airport. So.
Oh, really? You're flying out?
Yeah.
Godspeed.
So I know. So yeah, we'll be at South by Southwest all week, and then when we get back, it's back to normal life for a little bit.
Sick. That's always tough.
Yeah.
It's always tough, like living the high life and then being like, oh, I gotta like go to work and do laundry.
Yeah.
Cook a meal.
Yeah, instead of just eating tacos all day, which is what I plan to do in Austin.
God, that's a dream. See, I'm like a burrito guy, so I could just eat burritos all day.
Hey, Austin sounds like the place for you then, man.
They have such good food. Such good Tex-Mex.
Yeah, right on, man. Well, any final thoughts for the Cigar City Radio listeners?
Keep supporting your local things in all sense of the word. Food, entertainment, music, beer, businesses, neighborhoods. Just find a community you like and be a part of it.
We're hanging out here at Gasparilla Music Festival. We're in the Replay Guitar Exchange tent talking with Kolars.
Yes, you got it right.
Yeah, all right. So, first question.
Okay.
You're a husband and wife duo?
We are.
Are you actually a husband and
some
wife?
people think we're brother and sister.
That's what I was going to say. Is this like a White Stripes thing
No.
where it's like, yeah, who knows, you know?
We're definitely married.
Okay.
Last time I checked. Unless the divorce papers are in the mail.
I don't,
No, I tore those up.
yeah, oh, that's nice. So you're based in LA, right?
Yeah, we are.
But where are you from originally? 'Cause nobody's from LA, right?
Well,
Rob
I was
kind of
born
is.
there.
Really?
Yeah. Cedars-Sinai Hospital in LA.
He's like one of 5 people.
Yeah.
I did grow up in England for a while. So as
Okay.
a kid, I grew up in England. My parents are both European, so I'm a first-generation American. But LA is kind of more my home than anywhere else.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I'm an East Coaster. I'm
Okay.
a Bostonian.
All right.
Yeah.
Masshole.
I'm a
Yeah,
masshole.
that's definitely right.
So how did you
She
want?
drives like one, too.
Oh.
I'm all honk and middle finger.
Well, you have to in LA. I mean,
You
with
have to.
traffic.
You have
And,
Yeah, well,
in
in
every
LA,
city.
no one uses their blinker. LA's that like casual. I'm an asshole driver. So
Oh,
like,
okay.
no one really cares about anyone else. They're just worried about their own.
yeah,
shit.
you're like
So-
a passive aggressive asshole driver
Yeah.
over there.
definitely.
That totally makes sense.
it does.
So how did you meet? How did you guys come together?
We met in New York actually at a kind of a dive bar,
Oh,
playing
yeah.
pool.
What dive bar?
McDougal Ale House.
McDougal Ale
McDougal. Never
I
even
remember
heard of
that.
that.
That was like 40 years ago.
Lower East Side kind of area.
Yeah. No,
Or
West
like
Village.
West Village.
Yeah.
That's West Village.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought it was East Village.
It's by Washington Square Park.
All right.
There you
She
go.
knows New York better than I do.
Okay. So there you go. So we'll have at least, somebody from New York will be like, yeah, I know exactly that
Oh,
bar.
definitely.
They'll be
Yeah.
like, she's right. She's
Yeah,
right.
yeah, definitely. Or
Or she's
Twitter
wrong.
will go crazy with correcting you. So tell me a little bit about I know recently you just released a cover of Neutral Milk Hotel's King of Carrot Flowers,
Yeah.
Right.
which is like one of the cooler versions of that song I've ever heard because
Oh,
you made
thank
it like really kick ass, you know?
Thank
Thank you.
So what possessed you to cover that of all songs?
Something possessed you, actually.
Well, yeah, what was it? I think we just wanted to cover it, and we started trying it more like the original, kind of in the 3/4,
Yeah.
like waltzy kind of folk, almost like Irish folk kind of song. And then I just started playing around with like doing it like, what if we did it more like kind of blues rock or like kind of almost like T-Rex would do it, or like the Destroyers would do it in the 70s or something. And it kind of sounded cool, and we tried like 4/4, and then she started rocking the beat. So we just did in like rehearsal space, kind of came together, and we're like, maybe we should just do it this way.
Yeah.
There's something romantic about that song.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I love playing it. We're going to
Yeah.
play it today.
Awesome.
And it
Yeah.
kind of plays up like the lyrics are very like Americana, like talking about kind of the American condition. So like, why not try it in this more like American kind of rock and roll, guttural kind of way?
Yeah. No, that makes perfect sense. Yeah, I saw Pace Magazine posted it, and I was just
Yeah.
like, oh man, I'm gonna see these guys this weekend, so this is perfect.
Yeah, that was cool. They did a whole premiere of it. which
Yeah,
was
that's like
awesome.
one of my favorite tracks. But,
Oh, thanks.
And then you have the self-titled record, which came out last
Yeah,
year.
yeah.
So that's what you're touring on now, right?
Yes.
Or is there something
It's a
else
little
that you
bit-
got working on?
we're always trying to just do new bits and pieces. We have a couple new songs we play live that'll be coming out. We have a single coming out at the end of the year. The guys from Pearl Jam saw us in Seattle, so they got really into the show and want to put out like an exclusive 7-inch. So
Really?
we're doing that song, yeah.
Like
So-
September, right? It's
in
coming out?
September. So actually, King of Carrot Flowers will be the B side, and the A side will be the song "Touch the Lightning." So that'll come out then. And then next year we're gonna do a new album, have a full album release like spring or early 2019.
That's really cool. Yeah, no, the self-titled album had a lot of like really standout tracks.
Thank
like,
you.
it's like besides like the singles like Dizzy and stuff, like just the record from beginning to end
Thanks,
is really cool. I love the like. I don't know, you kind of mentioned like T-Rex and the Destroyers
yeah.
and stuff, and that's kind of the vibe I get from you guys. Like, I've heard it. I know like Pace Magazine, for example, described it as desert disco, glamabilly, space blues.
Yeah.
Are these all good terms?
Yeah, well,
We made them up.
sing-
You made- those
we
are-
made-
those-
some
that's-
of them we made up,
okay.
and some of them
We
from
whispered
people
in Pace's
describing
ear
us.
those.
Yeah.
So we embrace those because we're a little bit of a hybrid of a few different genres. So like, how do you describe it? Why not mix some kind of colorful sentences together?
Yeah. No, I'm all about inventing your own genre. Like we manage a band called Death Hags, and they call themselves Doom Pop.
Nice.
It's
I love that.
pop songs about the end of the world.
Oh my god, I love that. I
Listen to
automatically
Death
want to
Hags.
listen
You
to their
should,
music
you should.
because of that genre.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's great.
You
Smart.
piqued my interest.
See, that's all it takes. So yeah, space blues sounds amazing. It sounds like
That's probably the most accurate one.
Yeah.
I don't know,
Yeah.
but each song has like leans one way or another. You know.
Yeah. So where does that sound come from? You think? Because
I think we're influenced by every era. So there's like you go through from like 40s, 50s, whether it's like Howlin' Wolf, and then you go into the 60s and like the Kinks and the Zombies, which is more that psychedelic. 70s, that glam, Bowie, T-Rex, kind of David Essex sound. 80s, Cars, like that new wave thing we're influenced by. 90s, kind of garage, pavement kind of thing, and then modern indie rock. So it's like, how can we find ways to fuse it all together and then kind of embrace what we love, so it's just like a weird combo.
yeah. And listeners, you can't see him right now, but he was doing a lot of stuff with his hands to describe the combo and the mixture. So just so
I was
you know,
stirring.
yes, the pot is being stirred here. So what's next for Kolars after you're here at Gasparilla Music Festival?
Yeah.
Which is awesome.
It's
beautiful
crazy.
day here.
Are you going to be at South by Southwest
We
this
are.
year?
We leave
have
tonight.
eight performances in 4 days.
Oh shit!
6 live shows and 2 like session shows. So
Wow.
busy.
Starting
yeah.
tomorrow.
Are you leaving? Are you
evening.
leaving tomorrow?
We're
We leave
leaving
today.
Oh,
after our set.
after
no, me
set.
too. Like literally after this, we're packing up at 3:00, and I got to go to Austin. So yeah.
You have to stick around for the set though.
Oh well, yeah. I'll
Promise?
try. I'll try.
Okay.
If not, I'll see you in Austin.
That's
Okay,
true.
that's
You
true.
know,
That's true.
You
Yeah,
know,
that's
so
true. There'll be plenty of chances.
that's really cool. Yeah, 8 shows in 4 days.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
a
that's
lot.
gonna be wild. And then we continue our U.S. tour with this really cool band from Nashville, Escondido.
Yeah.
And then right when that's done, we get on a plane and fly to England, and we're touring for a month with Shonen Knife, which is this awesome Japanese.
Oh, I love Shonen
Yeah,
Knife.
we're
They
doing
are
like
so
10 shows
cool.
with them.
Yes, so cool. And their live show is so awesome,
Really?
so
we
energetic.
haven't seen it live yet.
Oh man, they're really great.
Yeah.
One of the other bands that we managed opened for them recently.
Oh,
So
cool.
yeah, they're like really cool. So have you been to Europe before? Have you toured over
We
there?
have. We've just started. We did with our previous band, but this band we've been going more strong, and it's awesome. Germany's been great. England, it's kind of
Netherlands.
building up. It's really good. Yeah.
I love Europe because they treat the bands really well over
They
there.
do. They
You know,
do.
like usually your guarantee like comes with accommodations, which is nice. You know, they feed you. Like one of our bands got sick in Spain because like they just got fed so much. Like they just kept feeding them paella
Come
and
on,
food and
man.
stuff. So it's like
Sounds
yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I mean, I'd rather that than, be in the middle of like Alabama and starving, So.
Very true. There's some good food in
Absolutely.
Spain. So
Yeah. There's probably good food in Alabama
That's
too.
true,
but-
actually. Good
but
Southern
But the
cooking.
promoters aren't giving it to you. That's
They're
the
not
difference.
giving it
That
to
is
you.
the-
No.
You have to find it yourself.
Yes, you have to find it and pay for it yourself. So, all right, cool. Well,
It was a pleasure meeting you.
we're glad we got to chat with you for a
Thank
couple
you so
minutes.
much.
Fun.
Any final words for the Cigar City Radio crowd?
Oh, just enjoy, live life to the fullest. Do what you love.
So we're here, Replay Guitar Exchange tent at Gasparilla Music Festival. We're hanging out with Chunk. Yes, who just performed a little earlier on the stage right behind us.
Yeah.
Playing some Indian classical music. Is that right? Or is this like kind of a fusion of Indian music? What?
Yeah, exactly. It is. This is my new project, the Global Fusion project. So it's more of Indian ancient chanting and the tabla and with the guitar, drums, and the percussion and all. So it's like a hybrid Indian music, you can say.
Yeah. No, it's really cool. Well, I love any time you hear one of the audio guys saying we need more tabla in the mix, or we need more cajon in the mix. You're like, all right, this is the stage that I want to be at, So that's cool stuff. And so you're classically trained though, right, in vocal and tabla?
Yeah, exactly. I'm coming from the family of musicians, so this is my third generation doing this music.
Third generation. So
Yeah,
your dad
exactly.
and your grandfather
Yeah, exactly.
were musicians.
Uh-huh.
And what did they play?
My father was a sitar player well-known sitar player in India, and so I'm here and last 10 years and working here. So with our band, we are touring everywhere and playing Also, we played here in Gasparilla 2 years back with our band, Wow World Fusion Band.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you about that.
Yeah.
The Wild World Fusion Band. That was the band you worked with the late great Ray Villadonga, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. How did you meet him? How did you get in touch with him?
Yeah, when I moved here to Tampa to start my school, Indian music school, and the same time I was trying to find the musicians who has some not like a regular way of working, something
Yeah.
different, experimental.
That was definitely Ray.
Yeah, so I found and we just clicked, the first day to meet with him, and we started our band. Now we have many artists internationally acclaimed, and they come and they play with us. And we have CD release April 1st at Skipper's Smokehouse.
Oh,
We're
right
playing
on.
there.
And that's the CD that you've been working on with George Harris, right?
Exactly.
At Creative World Recording in Largo.
Yes.
Yeah. How did Ray did he introduce you to George, or did you meet George elsewhere?
Yeah, actually, I played for Ray's album over at George, and that's how we met. And when we were recording this album for Va, Ray actually was in the cancer, surviving,
Yeah.
and he passed away he was hospitalized during our recording session. So it's very close to us, this album, and it's really sounding good, and we are very excited for this.
Yeah. I'm sure he would have loved to hear the final product.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about the school too. It's the Shruti School.
Yeah, Shruti School of Music, and we offer Indian music, the vocal, tabla, and the sitar. We have a visiting professor, visiting teachers from around the world, and they comes here and they teach. And I also teach tabla and the vocal.
And that's here in the area, right? Where's that located?
That is in Carolwood.
Oh, really? In Carolwood? That's right in my neck of the woods.
Here you go.
Where is it? Where exactly?
As Carolwood, very next to the Indian Center, Indian Cultural Center, Lane Road.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Lane
Okay.
Road.
I know exactly where that is.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Yeah, we're gonna have to come by and check out the school.
Yeah,
sometime.
sure.
So how many students do you guys have?
Yeah, we have a lot of students, close to 100 students we have.
Wow.
And we have online students, and also I work with USF and St. Pete College. I go there, and sometimes I teach and give a workshop to for students. So
That's
I
really cool.
also do that.
So you're really trying to further this type of music. You're trying to keep it alive.
Yeah, exactly. It's very cool music, and it's you can play with any kind of genre. It's very easy to jam. It's very easy to go with any other genre. So we're trying, and I'm trying my best to bring the world with the music in one place.
Yeah. That's really cool. And I just love that you're mixing in different styles from all over the world into something
Exactly.
unique and cool.
Yeah,
You know.
exactly.
That's awesome. So I know you're going to be at South by Southwest this year too, right?
Yeah, I'm flying tomorrow, and I'm playing Tuesday and Thursday. But I'm playing with a different band there, and also I'm playing one set with the Indian classical sitar player. I'm playing with him. He invited me.
Oh, that's really cool. We're going to be at South by Southwest also.
Oh,
so
that
we're
would be
gonna
awesome.
Yeah, you're going to have to let me know when your sets are. We'll try to make it out.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah,
So you
sure.
got that, and then the album release at Skipper's Smokehouse, you said, at April 1st.
Yeah, April 1st, and we have a guest artist, and he is actually still playing with John McLaughlin, a guitar, and he's a percussionist from band Shakti,
Yeah.
and so he is coming and playing with us, joining us for this CD release.
That's going to be a hell of a
Selva
show.
Ganesh.
Yeah. So, what's it like to write the music that you write? Because for me, I'm used to kind of the verse, chorus, verse, it's kind of simple song structure, but that's not really the case with a lot of your music.
Maybe because you've been writing like that for so long, what happens when you try to write like traditional Americans write music?
Yeah, it's very similar, and I try to adopt the style,
Yeah.
and I try to go with that. But it's mostly we try to keep a simple tune where the whole band can play together,
Yeah.
or the ending part or something, and then after improvise.
Yeah.
We keep like improvisation is more open.
Yeah.
That part we don't compose that much. We have some idea where to go.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So
But
yeah.
but you are doing even on stage. You're doing a lot of improv and a lot.
It's mostly it's a lot of improv during our solos, and but we when you end our solo or we start our solo, there is something composition, but after that you just go your own.
Yeah.
You know.
So it's kind of like jazz in that sense, right?
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know?
exactly. It's improvisation. It's more.
That's really cool. Well, if there was something that you wanted people who are not familiar with your music to know, or not familiar with Indian music at all to know about it, about the style, what would that thing be?
Yeah, the basic interesting part, there is I can say there is 99% similarity with any kind of music.
Yeah.
The only difference and approach has the Indian music is raga music, which is like a scale music, which is not harmonic music. That Western music is mostly harmonic.
Yeah.
And Indian music is raga, that you can take any particular scale and hang on that. And because there is a concept about the micro note, so instead of going all over, you work with a small space and work with the micro notes.
So you're kind of finding the notes in between the notes.
Exactly, it's called Shruti. That is my school name.
Oh.
Shruti is swara is a note, and Shruti is micro note.
Micro note. That's a totally new concept to me. That's amazing.
Yeah, and also in the rhythm, we have very developed structure, and all this konoko nowadays very popular, like takadimi takataki takadimi takataki takiti takadimi takiti takadimi takiti takadimi takataki takadin, so on.
That's so awesome.
It's like you're rapping, you're doing rap, and so this is also very interesting thing in Indian music, interesting style. So
Man, lots to learn. We're definitely going to have to come to the school, and you'll have to give us a crash course.
yeah, definitely. I have online courses and all these things. So yeah, I try to reach out to the people anyways, and thank you so much, guys, to inviting and to be here.
So I'm sitting here with Kasia. She is very Polish. She is our intern. She is a business extraordinaire. Some of the pictures she's taken are fantastic.
I'm still
are
learning.
actually fantastic. So how are you learning? Are you learning off the cuff, or do you have like classes that you take? How are you doing that?
Well, there's this group of like old people, and they go to botanical gardens and like take pictures of like flowers and wildlife, and I just watch them have all the patience in the world.
That's the most old person thing I've ever heard anyone say. There are these old people, and they go to flower gardens and take pictures of flowers with big cameras and learn.
That's what they do.
But that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. That's a crazy way to learn. Are you the youngest person in that group?
Of course, everyone's like 50 years older.
All right, we are here with Seth and Gabe Davis from Brothers Cephas.
Hello. Yes, sir.
So first question, this is what I always ask brothers. Are you really brothers?
We are brothers. 14 months apart.
Really? 14 months apart?
It hasn't been tested, but yeah.
So it's
what
not-
we've been told.
Definitely
What
the
we've
same
been
mom.
told.
So, okay, so at the very least, the same mom.
Yeah, that's verified.
And you're from here in Tampa, right? From in the area. Where do you guys live? Or St. Pete or in the Ybor area? Like, where are you from?
We're in Ybor Heights, just
okay.
off Nebraska and Martin Luther.
Right near like where we usually record over at the Blind Tiger there on 7th. So
Oh, nice.
Kind of,
Oh, yeah.
always in the Ybor area.
Oh, yeah.
And you're playing today here at Gasparilla Music Festival. So tell us a little bit about, what do you think of the festival so far? Is this your first time coming, or did you come last year?
Yeah, man, we've been, I think this is our second or third year coming, just as, fans, friends coming to see the bands playing. But this is our first year playing ourselves, so we're excited. Caught some good music yesterday, just loaded in, ready to hit it today.
Ready to rock.
Drink
right?
some beers.
Yeah.
Drink some
no,
beers.
Drink some beers and drink boxed water, which I see. You got to
Yeah.
stay hydrated. You got to have the boxed water.
Got to go 1 for 1 on days like today, man.
Absolutely. I mean, we're getting a nice breeze now, but it's a hot day.
Yeah.
It's a lot better than last year, though. Last year's Gasparilla Music Fest was like brutally hot. So
I remember watching Ryan Adams last year.
yeah,
It was
it was rough.
really hot.
Yeah. Did you guys catch the Roots last night?
Oh man,
Amazing.
Yeah, of course.
Incredible show.
I've
right?
never gotten to see him, and so like seeing someone like Questlove playing like right there, it's just a legend.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
I mean, they're on the Tonight Show every night.
Yeah.
So then they're right here in front of us.
Yeah.
So, so I know you just had a new kind of it's your debut like studio project, right? Not that important.
Yeah. We've released I think a total of 4 what we call collections, EPs, over the last couple years. This is the first release we've done in studio, not in our living room by ourselves. So
Yeah.
it's good, man.
It really took some like having we had a dude Drew Fisher out in LA mix in. He's done a bunch of records we really like. So with this one we were like, let's like do this with people we know are making good records, so we know just like what it's like to vibe on that and record, like Gabe said, not just on our own, like overthinking things.
Yeah, but like actually like
Yeah.
do it.
Getting out. Yeah.
Not that there's anything. I mean, I love the bedroom stuff too. You
Yeah, man.
gotta have a little bit of that.
Well, you got to do what you got to do, like it's better to get music out in some way than not, for sake of quality.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So what's been the reception like to the new record? What have people been saying?
It's been awesome, man. Yeah, I think like, we've been playing around Tampa in the Southeast for a couple years. But really, like in that same vein of stepping up our recording process through this and writing, we've been, starting to get more active, playing shows, touring, that kind of stuff. So I think all of that combined together and just, making the decision to be a little more concentrated on what we want to accomplish musically has, I think, been really well received, man. I think we've started to, just years of playing together, settling as a group. Everyone's kind of voices are stepping out a little stronger, and I think that makes just for a better release,
Yeah, I feel that. Because it's kind of like you have more time to like hone in and get that.
Yeah,
that's
for sure.
that tightness.
Well, we started this band like just wanting to play music together. Gabe was in a different band, I was in a different band, and this was like we just wanted to be like a Tampa band. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Some cool bands were starting up, and we wanted to like rep Tampa. And then I like with this last record, like he was saying, it was the first time like, well, maybe let's try and like do this more. Not just be a local band that plays monthly. Wherever. So.
But really go for it.
Yeah,
Because you're doing a tour now, right? Too. Like I saw some tour dates.
Yeah, well, we're working on summer stuff now. We did like a run in October up to New York and in the Northeast, and then we did like a couple Nashville, Birmingham dates, and we're booking out the summer now so we can like hit it hard. Our drummer's finishing school, so freeze him up a little more.
Yeah. Forget school, man. Get on the road. Like, what are you doing?
His real education begins now.
Yeah, it begins on the road when you're eating Taco Bell for 10 nights in a row.
Yeah.
Yeah, gets dangerous.
But I love that. I love seeing bands from our area getting out there and showing the rest of the world and other scenes that, we got fucking great music here.
Yeah.
Like, this festival is a testament to that like, you got the Roots and you got Spoon and Father John Misty, but you have a lot of local talent on this bill that is just as good as those national acts.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, I think now is like it's cool to see because like I feel like 3-4 years ago even like there was good bands, but like now there's a handful of like amazing bands in Tampa and St. Pete, especially like St. Pete.
Yeah.
Even to Orlando, like I feel like it's like getting like cool for people to play in bands again. I don't know. I feel like there's a while there where it's like I don't know.
Well, everybody wanted to be a DJ for a while, and then now it's like nobody, the DJ thing's kind of saturated. So it's like, and who wants to be a DJ anyways? I don't know. Not me.
Seems like could be some nice money.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing that, it's like, a band, you have so much gear and so much stuff, and you're like 4 or 5 guys in a van or whatever, and you don't get paid as much as the DJ who plugs in with his laptop and that's it.
Plays a club,
Yeah,
Hops in his Honda Fit and drives to the next gig.
yeah. You know, but then on the other side of the spectrum, you have some really good electronic musicians like Free Back and other people in our area.
One of our friends, Justin Depp, just recorded or just put out his record on Spotify. Just all came out last week. He's a Tampa dude.
Yeah.
Was a part of like the noise scene years ago, but one of our favorites. And he's one dude, like, amazing music, man. All instrumentals. Like, definitely check that out.
That's really cool.
He's starting to play more shows now. So
very cool.
Tampa dude.
So, you know, you were talking about how the scene's changed in the last couple of years. Where do we see the scene, or where do you see the scene going in the next couple of years? You know?
I just see it growing, man. I don't know. There's just like, there's such a cool growth. And then like, what I hope and what we're trying to do more of is like, you know, you play certain shows like opening up for, you know, someone like us. Like, we don't play a lot around unless it's like we're opening up for someone that it makes sense, you know.
Yeah.
It's a big show, maybe a new reach. Like, I'd like to see like the community of like bands like doing more projects together and like making more weird shows, you know. Like, we're talking with Mike Mass about doing like, let's do some like off-brand shows from what you usually do, you know. It's usually everyone's like, put the indie bands together and put the folk bands and the punk, you know. Like, we love it all. So like, I just hope we can all be more like together. Alexander from the Grapes and the Venus and, you know, Glove. Like, there's just a bunch of amazing acts out there, you know.
Yeah, shout out to Glove. They're one of my favorites now too. So but I'm hip to that, man. I think we should see a mixing of genres more like that. Like, that's kind of how it is in like Brooklyn and like a couple other scenes where it's like, you know, the first act might be indie rock, and then you'll get a hip hop guy, and then you'll get, you know, a metal band or something. It's like, why not mix it all together?
Yeah, for sure.
So that's really cool. Well, what's next for Brother Cephas?
Well, we just started working on a new record, potentially our first full length. So it's kind of the focus right now, just writing. You know, Seth and I write a lot, and our issue has been like getting music out quick enough to keep up with what we're working on at the moment. So got some plans to put some new stuff out this year, and again, just get more active, man. Tour when we can, play shows, you know, do what he was saying, like try and build a community here in Tampa, like a stronger base for bands like us, you know, or in the Gloves, you know, specifically, or Glove is, you know, done a great job of getting out of Tampa, you know. So I think the stronger we can make our home base, and then build that community of just getting out as well, you know, it just helps everyone across the board. So
we're hanging out here, Gasparilla Music Fest, with a band that performed yesterday, right?
Yes.
Right there on the Sykes stage, the Underhill Family Orchestra from Alabama.
That's us.
Yeah. So did you guys come all the way from Alabama just to see us?
Yeah, just to see you.
Me specifically?
You specifically.
That makes me feel special.
Beautiful you were.
Oh, you know. I mean, you're all beautiful.
Do you know how many throwback Buccaneers hats are in Alabama?
Probably very little.
Yeah,
very few.
1 to 0.
I used to live in Chicago, and I would always wear like I'm all about the throwback Bucks hat and the throwback Devil Rays hat, and I would tell people at like a fest, like, yeah, if you can't find me, just look for a throwback Tampa Bay hat, and that's probably me.
All the old. I have a throwback Packers hat. I'm from Milwaukee originally.
Okay.
And I have a throwback Packers. People are like, what team is that? It's like, then you're too young to ask me about my hat.
Yeah, right on. So I got to catch a little bit of your set yesterday, and I was really like blown away by.
Well, thank you.
Just the sound is really great, but the harmonies in particular, like these like 4-part, just like soulful, beautiful harmonies. So like, how long do you spend working on those, or do you just naturally have incredible pitch?
Oh man, if only that were the case. We spend so much time working on vocals. We spend a lot of time crafting the songs. The songs are. We have a really specific goal when we write a song to not make it absolutely normal. We need it to be a little bit left of center because that's what makes music good for us. You know, like we love Fleetwood Mac. If Fleetwood Mac would have come in and done like, you know, some John Cougar stuff, they wouldn't have been as popular because then you're just regular vocal, third vocal, fifth harmony over top.
Yeah.
And then, you know, anybody can do that without a lot of work. And I feel like when you're making music, you should be working hard. It's a job as well as, I mean, they call it playing,
Yeah.
But it's something that you have to work hard to do. I don't think Beethoven just like went with his gut instinct on anything. You know, it's like
no, yeah,
it's like
you gotta
well,
challenge some barriers.
Yeah, exactly. And then so, but the harmonies take a long time. We do try to incorporate 4 and 5 people into those when we can. So
that's
very
incredible.
It's very hard to do, but I think it's so worth it. And it really, especially when we're going into the songwriting process, like we usually have a lot of those vocals in mind, and it helps bring the song to fruition, like what we think in our head.
Yeah. No, I think it really adds a sense of life to songs. I mean, I'm personally, I'm really into like Simon and Garfunkel and Queen and just bands that, really had incredible harmonies.
Yeah.
So it's great to see that being carried on.
Those are some big names.
Those are some big names.
I appreciate that.
We'll
very
put
much.
Underhill Family Orchestra right there.
Yeah.
Right up there.
Simon and Garfunkel, then Queen.
Queen,
then
the Underhill Family.
Underhill Family Orchestra.
I'm okay with them.
Yeah. So I've actually, since you were announced for Gasparilla Fest, I made my Gasparilla Music Festival playlist that I
Sure.
can get familiar with everybody. And your cover of "I'm a Believer," like really jumped out at me as like. Just the way it builds into this like explosion of sound by the end, I was just like so blown away by how great of a cover that is and how great that whole like kind of side A, side B single that you guys did is. So why did you cover that song in particular, and how did you come up with that arrangement?
So I love that song. It's a great song. Before Shrek, before Smash Mouth,
despite Shrek,
it's
still a great song.
And a little bit of history on that song, like Neil Diamond wrote it, like Mr. Jewish Elvis, like one of the best singers and songwriters of all time. So, especially when it comes to pop contemporary. So when the words were being written, like you can tell how much care and craft went into those words, and they're really beautiful, moving songs or words. And so when we sat down to kind of make it a thing, we were like, we should make it a slow dance instead of like a hand jive kind of deal.
Right.
But the slow dance quality of it, and we don't do the I wouldn't leave you if I try part because that's like a pop sensibility where we wanted to make it a real sentimental feel.
You made it folky and rootsy.
Yeah, and I think the song gets a bad rap for being hokey, and it isn't. Like some of the I thought love was only true for fairy tales. Like if that doesn't hit you in your soul, like everybody's felt that. Like
that's what really amazed me about your version of the song, and that's what I think like a really great cover makes you look at the song in a completely different way, and that's what I think you guys did with that.
Thank you so much.
Is that it allowed me to realize like, wow, these are really great songs.
It's a love song. Yeah.
It is. It's a beautiful love song, and it's kind of like Ryan Adams covered the Taylor Swift album, 1989, and I didn't realize that those were amazing songs.
Yeah.
And then Ryan Adams did it. I'm like, wow, this is good shit.
I heard that Taylor Swift and he worked like together on a lot of it too, because she really writes like a lot of her songs. And, I mean, she has help, but I thought it was cool, and I like his cover of Wonderwall is the only cover of Wonderwall for me.
It's true, even though every guy with a guitar in every bar will do a cover of Wonderwall.
Drop to that minor on the chorus,
and then there it goes. But Ryan Adams actually headlined Gasparilla Music Fest last year.
Oh, awesome!
So we had a chance to see him, and now this year we got the Roots and Father John Misty's playing tonight, and Spoon played last night. So what do you guys think about Gasparilla Music Fest?
It's pretty sweet. I had my head in my hands for most of the Roots.
Yeah, we caught the Roots, Warpaint.
Warpaint's so good.
We've been just enjoying everything. Everybody, like, still today, they were like, "Hey, saw you guys yesterday," and everyone's super friendly, and hospitality is amazing. Definitely just a really good time all around. We're having a blast.
I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah.
And this isn't your first time in Tampa, right? Like you've
We've
been here
in Tampa.
a couple times. Yeah.
We played
New World Brewery a handful of times, and also the Crowbar. Good friend of ours at the Crowbar.
Played in St. Pete several times too. So
cool.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's funny because like there's some people that just kind of like fit what we're doing here, and I think like what you guys are doing fits in with a lot of the bands that we have in this scene too. So I feel like we could adopt you as like honorary members of the Bay Area scene, and I don't think anybody would be upset by that.
Cool. Well, if you ever come to Mobile, you can stay at my house.
I will definitely do that. I don't know when that's gonna be.
Hit me on the Facebook. Let's ride.
Yeah, let's do it, man. Let's hang out. Are you going to South by Southwest? Because I need a ride.
No, I actually just bought that house, so I don't have time for anything else. Really.
Fair enough. So what? Tell me a little bit then about the Mobile scene. Like what's going on there?
The Mobile scene is so rad. I really feel like every major, obviously, like it's a town in the South, so you have those bands that are like they're cover bands. Everybody goes out to see cover bands in every city, but it's really prevalent in the South. I feel like the people who are like really itching to see different music like are elsewhere, but it's also party music, so it's kind of a partying scene. Mobile specifically is a 24-hour city.
Really?
So yeah, bars don't have to close.
know.
Bars don't have to close. You can walk around with your beers and stuff.
It's like a mini New Orleans.
But what
like
I've always liked about Mobile is that no one is afraid to do their own thing. Like every major and minor genre is represented in some way in our music scene. And I think it's really cool, and I think especially with the emergence of bands like St. Paul and Alabama Shakes, like people are starting to get more of this idea of like, oh wait, more than just football happens in Alabama, and more than just the stereotypical cousin, whatever,
Right?
Or
like, the Southern stuff.
Yeah, like we're not a bunch of mouth breathers all the time. Like we do say "Roll Tide" at funerals. That wasn't a joke. Like that really, I've heard it happen.
Do people scream that at your shows too?
Roll Tide and Freebird. Those are the only things you're allowed.
The only things you're allowed.
Only things you're allowed to scream at a show in Alabama, I think.
Right on. So I know you're working on a new album right now, right?
It's ready to go.
It's ready.
Yeah.
It's in the can.
We are.
So tell me about that.
loaded.
Tell me about the album.
We are releasing the first single from it March 23rd, so that's coming up really soon.
Very soon.
Yeah. Vince, I'm sorry. The album in general, like making it.
Yeah,
and
tell me about the
everything?
album. Like what?
About the album. It is a fantastic endeavor. Like we worked really, really hard on it. It's been pretty much done for the past year. We've just been waiting for the right time and the right sort of rollout to get everything where it needs to be to I guess prepare the world. I don't know exactly.
Yeah, no, you have to prep the world.
Yeah. And it's we recorded half of it in Mobile, and our producer Noah Shane flew in from Los Angeles, and we did all the full band stuff, a lot of like background vocals and guitar work and bass stuff, and then took a couple weeks off, and Steven and Joel flew out to Los Angeles and did all the main vocal stuff and extra guitar work and whatnot. And he super influential in our kind of figuring out what our recorded sounds like. He's been a fantastic guy, the sixth member of our band for sure.
Yeah. Well, that can be a challenge, to like really translate what you're doing on the stage to what you're doing on the record.
Yeah. And he did a great job in understanding what we were going for and also making it better than what we could have anticipated.
That's always a great feeling.
Yeah, coming out of recording being better is like the goal. When you learn new things, you experiment, and the album is very cinematic. I always say it's music you can dance or cry to, or both at the same time.
I love the
classic
cry dance.
The cry dance,
There's
There's nothing crazy about that.
There's some really fun moments. There's there's the brass on there. We have that like Delta kind of Creole feel that we have down in Mobile, New Orleans area. And then we have like Ennio Morricone feel in some songs, and it's all over the place in a good way. And
it's cohesive.
Yeah, it flows. I feel like it's a really good road trip album. I listened to it driving on a long drive one day, and I was like, this is awesome. I love it. We're excited about it.
Just from listening to you guys on stage, I could totally get that vibe. Like I could drive across the country and listen to your records for sure. So hopefully, do we have a release date for that yet? When's that coming?
It's tentatively May the 4th.
Oh, May the 4th be with you.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully. We can only hope that it's with us that day.
Yes. Yes, that would be amazing. That's also our bass player's wedding anniversary.
Hey, so it's a lucky day all around.
Yeah.
So hopefully.
Hopefully it will, because that's an awesome date. So.
Can we not mention my dog's birthday again?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. And Steven's dog's birthday.
Oh,
It
happy
is,
birthday, Steven's dog. What kind of dog do you have?
It's a Jack Russell Beagle. It's the running joke right now because every time we say it, Joe is like, "That's my anniversary," and I'm like, "Yeah, and my dog's birthday."
Yeah, like anniversary. You know? He'll get married 2-3 times. I'm just kidding.
At least.
No, Alabama marriages last way longer than big cities.
Do they? It's because you can stack them. You can have multiple at once.
You can have several. You can have some with family members. It's fine.
Yeah, family sticks together. So.
Yeah. So there's a lot of meanings then to this Underhill family orchestra. That's what I'm hearing. So.
By blood and also by marriage.
Yeah. By
At
any
the
means
same
necessary,
time.
I guess. So. Right on, guys. Well, any final thoughts for Tampa, for the Cigar City Radio listeners?
Just continue to support local live music. Creativity is it's a tough thing to find if you're looking at the broad brush these days. Like, look in the crevices, look in the cracks, find the good stuff. That's the only reason we get to do what we do, is because people came out to the shows. And some of my favorite bands are never going to be famous. They're never going to have platinum records. And I would encourage people to do the same thing. It's find what's hidden under the bushel basket.
All right, we're hanging out here with Jessica O'Connor,
Hi.
our new friend who runs a new blog called The Mic Drop.
Mic Drop Music.
Mic
yeah.
Drop Music. So tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I graduated from Florida State in December, and before graduating, I had an internship with Alternative Nation. So I got to go to like Lollapalooza, Bonnaroo, Voodoo, like all of these huge festivals, and I got to do like on-camera interviews and stuff like that. And I'm just like the girl who has to do everything herself. So I'm like, as amazing as that was, I kind of want to like start my own thing.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what? I have some contacts, I have some experience. I'm just gonna go for it. So it officially launched on January 31st, and ever since it's just been kind of like taking off. I've gotten really lucky. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So this is your first Gasparilla Music Festival. You're covering it as official media. What's the festival been like for you so far?
Well, it's really cool because it's in my hometown, so there's an aspect of convenience. Like yesterday, my shoes were really uncomfortable, so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna run out and change my shoes and come back. But it's also just like gorgeous physically. Like, I genuinely, of all the festivals I've been to, I think this is the best like city setup, because you got the palm trees, the downtown,
the water,
UT in the back. It's just stunning.
It is. It really, especially like at night when everything starts, getting lit up. Like for Spoon and the Roots last night.
The
it was
Roots, oh my gosh.
Incredible, right?
Incredible, yeah. You better believe I like ran up to the front row, took some pictures. It was insane.
Yeah.
I saw them at Okeechobee last weekend actually too, when they were like the live band for Snoop Dogg. So that was like, I've seen them 2 weekends in a row now. I probably need to chill.
No, just follow them around. Just start going to
I'm
all
a Roots groupie, apparently.
Yeah, start going to all the Tonight Show tapings. So
I should.
Yeah.
I really should.
You could probably just hang out on the Roots bus.
I think I'm going to. I think that's my plan. If this doesn't work out, I'm just gonna follow the Roots around the country.
Yeah. So what type of music are you most into? Like, what is your big scene?
That's really, really hard. So obviously with Alternative Nation, I was covering a lot of alternative music for a while, but I love rap. Snoop Dogg, as you're saying, like insane. I'm doing Reggae Rise Up next weekend, so I love reggae, like Tribal Seeds, Soja, Damian Marley, all that stuff. But then I like definitely love classic rock too. Like pretty much that's all me and my friends listen to. So
Really?
Yeah, I'm like an old soul.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, definitely.
Gotta have love for the classics.
The classics, yeah.
Who's your favorite like classic artist?
Oh shoot, I'm dying to see Fleetwood Mac on their last tour this year. They're doing like the farewell tour. So me and my friends are like trying to get on that.
Yeah, there's so many farewell tours happening this year.
Shania Twain.
She's doing a farewell tour.
Well, that I don't know. There's some
questions there.
There's some questions, but apparently Shania Twain was on her way out, but she's too young.
Yeah,
She can hang out.
Yeah,
for
I mean,
sure.
if the Rolling Stones can be 70 something and
Steven
be rocking
Tyler,
out, you know,
all those
yeah,
guys.
Aerosmith. All right, we're hanging out here at Gasparilla Music Festival in the Replay Guitar Exchange tent, and we're chatting with Berto. First off, is your name really Berto?
That's my name.
Really?
Yeah.
100%. You're not lying to me.
No, why would I do that?
And Berto, you come from the metropolitan city of DeLand, Florida. Is that correct?
That's where I spent most of my time. I live in New Smyrna Beach, which is just, over to the east of that. But yeah, in that general vicinity, Volusia County.
Volusia County, man. Yeah, I've spent a little bit of time over there, so I know how that is. And I've heard you described as one of the hardest working musicians in Florida.
Oh yeah, who told you that?
I can't say. Don't want to give any names, but I hear you. Yeah, you gig a lot. You play a lot of shows in Florida in that area, and is that true?
I travel a lot. I definitely there's sacrifice involved in it, so I have no problem saying that I do travel a lot, and I love to play and just see different parts of Florida. Florida's a really diverse state, So when you leave town, sometimes you feel like you're just in a different country. It's crazy.
Like a whole different world.
Yeah.
From like here to New Smyrna, it's like totally
different.
Totally different vibe.
This is just an actual city.
Yeah, well, it feels like it, especially at events like this.
Oh, yeah.
Like this is very urban, I guess. We're right downtown.
And this is also the home of the Cuban sandwich.
Absolutely.
Which people think it's Miami, but it's Tampa.
No, Tampa is,
right?
Yes, and I fight people over this
Do
all
you
the
really?
time. Yeah, because the big part of it is that the Cuban sandwich in Tampa, it was also influenced by the Italian immigrants that we had here at the cigar factories, and that's why they added the salami.
I didn't know that.
And that's the key. That's
Yeah.
what really makes the Cuban sandwich, in addition to the roast pork and everything,
Sure,
and then
sure.
you gotta have the salami. 'Cause
Yeah.
if not, it's just like, what are you doing? That's not even a real Cuban.
Yeah, I've
No.
heard there's a little bit of some tension there because I think what Subway came out with like the Miami Cuban, and people are like, "What the hell is that about?"
Oh no, yeah, that's no.
it's not right.
No, come to Tampa, come to West Tampa Sandwich Shop.
That's where you get a Cuban, huh?
That's the place to get a Cuban. That's where Obama went to get a Cuban. So I mean,
it's
they're not going to give him
Yeah.
bad Cuban sandwiches.
Sure.
So that's really cool. So I was reading a little bit about you, before Gasparilla Music Fest, and I heard that you kind of got your start like in playing church music. Is that right? Or like that's where like it was like your introduction to music?
Yeah, I grew up in the church, and I went to private school. And actually, the interesting fact is I went to this, I don't know why my mom got involved in this church, but it was a Messianic Jewish church when I was growing up. And they had a school called Etz Chaim. And I went to school with Josh Tillman.
Really?
Father John Misty.
Yeah.
And we actually met on the playground one day. I don't know if he recalls this, but we were talking about our bands, and I'm like, he's like, what band are you in? And I think my first band was called Irish Potato or something.
Okay, yeah.
And he's like,
mine was called Car Full of Midgets. So
that's way better than Irish Potato. And he was like Emanon, no name backwards. I never forgot it. And then all of a sudden, I'm like, oh my God, I went to like this awkward time in my life. I went to this school that was like, they made us learn Hebrew and they hate you if you didn't do your work. And this guy is a part of that, and now I'm playing this festival with him. So it's really interesting.
Yeah.
But that's where I started playing music in the church, and I kind of found myself, and I just took it from there.
That's amazing. Yeah, I had a very similar experience growing up. I went to Catholic school, but that was my introduction to playing music. Was like, they needed somebody to play bass in the church masses. So I was like, yeah, I'll play bass. It's more fun than sitting in the pews.
Being bored.
So, yeah, exactly. I won't be bored, and I'll learn some skills. And you get to see kind of the power that music has.
Absolutely.
That it move, especially because my family would go to the Spanish language masses, and they're a lot more
traditional,
they're a lot more into it than they are at like the regular Catholic mass. Like everybody's singing, and the songs are more engaging, and there's there's cajon being played and stuff. It's not it's not the traditional hymnal type stuff. So that's what I think got me really into music at a young age.
Yeah, same. That's great.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
So then you continued, playing
blues rock and blues music? Is that kind of the crux of what you do? Is it rooted in the blues, or?
I have a lot of different musical interests, so definitely soul and blues, and that's one aspect of what I do. Rockabilly, country, kind of the whole, I've heard it called Ameripolitan.
Ameripolitan.
I've heard that
That
term,
sounds like
yeah.
an ice cream flavor.
Yeah, right. But I also have a band called Heckfire that we just released a record, and that's kind of more of a 90s rock thing that leaves the blues out of it. So I have different channels for how I express it, but this is kind of my main thing. And yeah, there's blues, country. I do fingerstyle.
Okay.
Thumb pick, so that's really opened up the guitar for me in my songwriting. But it's always changing, you're always exploring. We live in a melting pot of all kinds of music, so it's great to have that culture and be influenced and write albums based on that.
So tell me a little bit more about the finger style. Is that how did you pick that up?
One of my favorite guitar players and a friend of mine, Sam Passetti out of St. Augustine, is one of the most phenomenal guitar players and singers. And he does thumb style, and I have a friend named Joe Kuhn that's also great, and Chet Atkins thing, and I wanted to really try it out, so I just forced myself to play for an entire year with a thumb pick, and I kind of picked it up, and it just opened up the guitar for me in a new way. And I'm still new at all this this style, but it's been really exciting for me. I was getting kind of old. It was getting old just doing the same strumming thing that every guitar player does in a bar, So I really wanted to take it to a new place.
That's incredible, because to me, I would have to relearn the instrument completely. I think
I had to get it, a little bit. Yeah, I definitely did. It took some time, but it's good to challenge yourself, I think.
Yeah, I mean, because like you said, it opens up whole new ways to play.
Completely, it really does. You're playing the rhythm and the melody, and you're exploring the chords more, because the melody's in the chord.
Yeah.
And there's more rhythm in it. And so it's just a whole new approach to it, which is really exciting to me.
Cool.
Yeah.
And so we're gonna see a little bit of that today at Gasparilla Music Fest. Right?
A little bit of it, yeah. I mean, I'm always using a thumb pick, but I got some great guys playing with Lars Vidal, who's played this before, a good friend of mine. He's backing me up along with this band from Orlando that I've been playing with. Nadeem is an upright bass player for the Wild Tones. And,
right on.
And Brian Chodacroft has been in all kinds of Orlando bands. Alan Cowart. These guys are like Orlando veterans, so when you have a full band, you can kind of sit back a little bit more. But I'll definitely be playing with the thumb pick today.
Yeah.
It's like my bottle.
Yeah.
A baby's bottle. When I don't have it, I can't function.
Yeah.
That's the only problem. You lose your thumb pick, you're in trouble.
Oh no, yeah, because then what would you do without the thumb pick?
I guess just try to do it without it, but I don't like it.
Yeah.
I feel
so now
naked.
you've gotten to the point where you just have to play like that.
Now I have an addiction to thumb picks. I have to have one at all times.
A thumb pick addict.
Yeah.
Hello, my name is Berto, and I'm a thumb pick.
I have the shakes because I can't find my thumb pick.
Oh shit. So beyond Gasparilla Music Festival, what else you got going on? What's the year looking like for you?
Oh man, at the end of the year, I'm playing this residency in Portland, Oregon.
Nice.
Yeah, called Al's Den, which I played once last year. Really great.
I love Portland.
Oh man, Portland's great. I love it. New Orleans, I've been playing Chihuahua. I'm gonna head back there at some point. And really, a lot of festivals up in Swanee. I've been playing those a lot. I love the festival scene. Right? It's really just, it's everyone is a super fan. I mean, it's such a contrast to playing in a bar where there's lots of stuff going on. Nothing wrong with that, but there's just super music fans here and great musicians at these festivals.
Yeah, that's totally true.
I dig it.
And I love it. Like, it's a great gathering of musicians.
Exactly.
Like if you're a musician, just to meet other people that are doing what you're doing and make friends that you can, maybe go out on the road with later or something.
It cuts out a lot of bullshit.
Yeah.
It really does.
Absolutely. So any new music coming our way from Berto?
I have a new Berto record coming out in a couple months, and I'm really excited about it. I got Matt Lapham on the bass and some tracks, and Billy Dean, who plays with Victor Wainwright, an amazing drummer. So I'm really excited to get this out and get these songs off my chest.
Yeah.
Start again.
So see, you really are the hardest working musician in Florida. You got so many festivals, you got a new album, you got another album with your other band, right? So,
It's been some time in the making, but yeah.
Well, that's really great, man. So,
yeah.
Any other thoughts for the Cigar City Radio listeners, for the Tampa crowd here?
I love Tampa. I love you guys, and I can't wait to come back.
funny to watch old people